Hello adventurers, I'm Gray, and here I am in finals week struggling my way through exams. This has been a really tough semester for me, by the way, but if you're wondering, I think the finals are going quite well. I've got one more tomorrow and then I'll be done for this semester and I'm really excited. I'm making my way through grad school step by step. I'm gonna be a doctor. But here I am when I get a notification from Hypixel Studios that there's a new Hytale blog update. And it has been quite a long time, I think several months since the last real blog update. I mean, they've kept us updated with postcards from Orbis, which are basically just weekly updates with a picture, sort of showing how Hytale's progressing, but mostly just showing sort of scenic shots of the game. And those are interesting and all, but there hasn't been a real blog post in ages. And I don't really know how to make a video out of just those pictures, unless I want to just compile them into one video. But today, we have a full blog post, the real deal, as shown right here on Twitter. And if you haven't seen these types of videos before, I'm just going to read through it, give some impressions, reactions, predictions for the future, that sort of thing. It should be a lot of fun. I always love following this because this is the game I'm most excited for, and I really want to do more of this on the channel. I just wanted to give you a bit of a closer look on this photo here. I'm assuming it'll be in the blog post itself. So for now, let's move on to the real post. Here we are, December 2020 development update. Now, if you recall, Hypixel Studios actually said that this game would release in 2021, so we're getting closer and closer to Hytale's release date. So I'm guessing they're going to keep us a bit more updated from here on, or at the very least, this is an update to tell us all that's been going on the past couple of months. So to start off, hi everybody. Today we're going to get you up to speed on what's been going on at Hypixel Studios over the last couple of months and look back over 2020 as a whole. We're not revealing new features today or talking about launch plans as we're deep in production and not ready to do so. That's fair, they don't have an exact date of launch. They did say 2021 before though, so I'm guessing that's still set unless they say otherwise. However, we do want to let you know where we're at and give you a sense of what we've been doing to ensure that Hytale lives up to its potential. In 2019, we wrestled with the unanticipated success of the Hytale trailer and tried to figure out what kind of company we needed to become in order to deliver on the expectations of Hytale's growing community. In 2020, we've been tackling the practical side of becoming that company. It's not always been an easy or quick process, but it's enormously worthwhile. We've often talked about our aspiration to grow from a mod team to a professional game development studio, and 2020 has been the year when that evolution really kicked into gear. I feel really happy for these guys. I'm also nervous for them because it's kind of hard to be an indie company just making mods and things like that, and then suddenly having 50 million people view your trailer and having to live up to those expectations. And to be honest, I'm not sure if Hytale will live up to those expectations. However, I still think it'll be a fun game regardless of if it does or doesn't. That's what people should look forward to anyway, just having a good time. It's just another thing that you can enjoy with friends. That's what I'm going to look forward to in Hytale. So, we have a little picture here, showing off, I believe, Zone 2. And it's quite pretty. Look at that water reflection. Is that RTX? There's some fog, there's some sand, and a nice little sandy structure right here. The beginning of the year saw us finalize our acquisition by Riot Games. That's controversial, but whatever, we'll get back to that later, which we announced in April. I already talked about this anyway in a separate video during that update. This was a major step that has provided us with essential resources, and we're happy to say we're also enjoying substantial independence. Okay, while we're now a part of a bigger organization, we've continued to make our game in our own way. Speaking of doing things in our own way, this year we also opened a physical office during a global pandemic. We think that this demonstrates our determination to do the things we say we're going to do, even if our timing can be a little questionable. That's fair. Were you even able to meet in person in that office? Like, how did it work? Did you social distance? I'm guessing they did. Set up desks, make sure you can't put them too close to each other, that sort of thing for now. That's interesting though, setting up an office during the pandemic. Now, just to briefly mention the Riot Games, just to touch on it, I personally don't care so long as the game's good, and that's what we have to wait and see. Some of my friends who I've told about Hytale, because I'm the one who's most excited out of the people I know for Hytale, but some of my friends are interested in the game too and want to play it with me when it releases. And they're nervous about this because a lot of them hate Riot Games. I don't know, they feel like their monetization schemes and the fact that they're Chinese and all that, or like I don't know, there's some questionable things of Riot Games. So we'll have to see how well this game turns out. If they're enjoying some independence, then that's fine. If it's just for that resources that Riot can provide, I'm hoping the best in this regard. On a more serious note, while our remote structures provided some resilience in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've definitely felt its effects. In these uncertain times, we've done our best to ensure that our team members have had the time they need to care for their vulnerable loved ones, safeguard their own health, and, in a few unfortunate cases, recover from illness. Illness really is everywhere, isn't it, with COVID? There's quite a few people from my school who even got it. Not saying what school that is, but I haven't got it, fortunately, and none of my family members have gotten COVID, so I'm very fortunate in that regard, but I know some neighbors who have and some other friends who have, so it's pretty common. It's all around us. I hear it's like 1 in 10 people in America have gotten infected with it. The pandemic isn't the only factor that has made this a challenging year, but it's important to be open about the fact that we've not been able to operate at 100% capacity in 2020. After all, who has? Nonetheless, it's been a thrill to see the office in Derry, Londonderry, I always love that name, brought to life by some amazing new team members. While the pandemic has set back our plans to make full use of it, the essentials are starting to come together, including our own to-scale, materially accurate Quebec. Aww. Well, once this is done, I'm guessing this would be like the big model in the Hytale office. Not gonna lie though, right now, whenever it doesn't have the pupils filled in, it looks a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. It's like he's staring into my soul. Oh, there's also, look, there's a guy in the back as well. I'm not sure who that is. Just outside another statue. What if that's just someone painted bronze? He's just a regular person. There's also another statue, I can't quite tell what it is either, at the left side here. And there's a lion. These just might be sculptures though by that same company who's doing the Quebec sculpture, so they might not be relevant to Hytale. The little guy's still being worked on. When he's done, he'll grace the entrance of the Hypixel Studios office. As anybody who keeps an eye on our jobs page will know, we've continued to expand the team. A lot. We brought on a bunch of incredible new people at every level of the company, from producers and design leadership that help us ship the game to new developers to operational staff that'll help us make it. It's taken some time to find the right people and to bring them into the fold, but seeing the team evolve over the course of the year has been one of 2020's true highlights. This is our cue to link you to the jobs page again, by the way. If you're interested, you guys can apply. I have no credentials in this field, so there's no way I could do anything, but just be aware of it. Do you see a role that may suit you? Apply, tell your friends, get them to apply. We're hiring. Alright, I guess since they're a growing studio, they need more people, so. And here's another beautiful screenshot of Zone 1. There's nothing too new here. They're very careful to hide new things, unless they really want to show it. But they've got I'm guessing a prefab here. A house with a hay roof, some ropes going underground. Or is that a well? I'm not quite sure what that is. Or maybe a mining area? Could be something like that. Or maybe it's like an elevator, a rope elevator that goes up and down. Or at least built to look like that. It probably doesn't actually function like that. And are those ladders? I think those are ladders that are on the logs as well. Not quite sure. As Hypixel Studios has grown, we've been steadily overhauling our production pipeline. That's a sentence that's normally only exciting to producers, so here's what it actually means. We've gotten better at making games. Cool, cool. We're proud of our origins in the mod scene, and much of what excites us about Hytale has come from the game jam mindset we've carried with us since those times. However, we've also learned a lot about what it takes for a big project like ours to come together, and that's meant updating the way we work to match the challenges that we now face. We've made strides to become more efficient over the last few months, but we're aware that this has come at the expense of our ability to provide regular updates on the state of development. That's where we got the postcards from Orbis, just a weekly photo, rather than actual updates. The explanation for this is really simple. We're no longer investing our resources in anything other than making the best possible game. So in other words, they're not paying someone to make these updates anymore, really. Hypixel Studios doesn't have a massive marketing team, and so our weekly postcards have become our way to engage with the community at a time when blog posts or other updates would distract from essential work on Hytale itself. Now, do blog posts really take that much time to make, though? That's what I wonder, because, I don't know, I feel like I could write, I write like 10-page essays for my MBA program, almost pretty much once every 2 weeks, but when I get them done, I can get it done in like maybe 5 hours or so in one day, if I really set myself to it. So, I don't know. I guess they do take like a day's work for a person that they could use for other things. Hey, look at this! Aww! Penguins! I love penguins. If you didn't know, penguins are actually my favorite animal, and I am definitely not unique in that regard, but I have always loved penguins since I was young. Piplup is my favorite Pokemon. He's so cute. And I love these little eyebrows that these guys have. I want to pet them. Alright, we know this can be frustrating, particularly for those of you who have been with us since the start and remember when we were much more active in this regard. We ask for your patience. We believe earnestly that you'd rather have Hytale as soon as we're able to ship it than have us focus on blog posts at the cost of some of our momentum. That's true. This doesn't mean that there won't be bigger updates in the future, but expect regular screenshots to be the norm for a while yet. Okay, so we still won't get blog posts that commonly. I'm guessing once development starts to wind down, we'll get blog posts much more often, but for now, we're going to stick to the screenshots. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 videos on those screenshots at some point just to sort of describe them and just sort of compile them into a video, because I can't do a video on every single screenshot. We do regret that we're not able to cap off 2020 with the set of reveals we gestured at earlier in the summer. That was a prediction that didn't work out. The features we had in mind simply aren't ready to make their debut, but what we can do is talk a little about what they entail. Alright? And here is another screenshot of Zone 2. Beautiful, beautiful river right here and some landscapes. Earlier in the year, we said that we were reassessing every aspect of Hytale to ensure that it was on track to reach its potential. We weren't joking about this. Almost every part of the game, including many aspects of gameplay that have already been revealed, has been taken back to the drawing board, rethought, and in some cases overhauled. So I'm guessing a lot of the things that they showed off in the past aren't true anymore, so things I discussed in past blog posts might not be relevant at this point. We want to ensure that all of Hytale's systems are coherent, fun, and advance the genre in meaningful ways. In other words, we're not just Minecraft. For example, we've really been digging into Hytale's combat system, and we've started playtesting and iterating on a substantial set of changes that are showing real promise, particularly when it comes to adding depth to PvP. However, it'll be a while before we can share specifics, as we're keen to ensure that what we show reflects the way that the game will play when you get your hands on it. I am wishing the best on this, because PvP, I feel like in these types of games, is really hard to make it feel good, because it has to be simple enough for everyone to understand, because a lot of kids play these types of games, and you want it so that even those who aren't that skilled can still enjoy PvP and not be confused. But it needs to have some level of depth, that way it's not just spamming buttons and whoever has the best connection wins. Like, there needs to be at least a bit of skill involved there in progression. So I hope that they make that work really well, but like they said, they're working on it and they see some promise in what they're designing, so we'll see where that goes. This is underground here, some lava. I like the way the lava glows, it's really pretty. And even like the little particle effects that rise up from the lava, that's really nice. Actually, this whole cave is quite pretty. Some stalactites and stalagmites, and some prefabs as well, some dungeons, some crystals. Oh, did we see that monster at the top left before? I'm not certain. He looks a little bit funny, he has like a big head. Or that might just be his helmet though. To be honest, I forgot a lot of the names of things in Hytale, because like I said, I haven't been keeping up with it too much recently because there hasn't been blog posts. I'll probably get re-caught up when it gets closer to the release date, but for now, I just don't have time with my school going on. Your interest in our project means the world to us, and we know how tough it can be to be asked to wait. We see the speculation about beta dates, new trailers, and so on, and if we could, we'd love to be able to keep the hype going all the way to launch. That'll be difficult, but you can try. That's not where we're at, however, and we also don't think it's fair to our community to allow anticipation to stay at fever pitch for such a prolonged period of time. It's also fair. We're hard at work, and we're confident that we're moving in the right direction, and all of the progress we've made would not have been possible if it wasn't for the excitement that has built up around Hytale in the 2 years since the announcement, but we have lots of work left to do. I'm guessing what they want to do is temper down the flames of excitement so that people's expectations aren't sky high whenever it releases. They want it to be another fun game for people to play, not the second coming of Christ in game form. Or I guess you could say the second coming of Minecraft. Like, it's probably not gonna... I don't know. It's not going to blow people's minds, or at least they don't want people to expect it to. And that's fair, to be honest. Oh, this... oh. This is straight up that meme, like, is this a bird, or is this a pigeon? Except in this case, it's not a butterfly, it literally is a pigeon. I mean, it's an old meme, but it checks out. To be clear, then, we don't currently have a launch plan for Hytale. So it's not guaranteed 2021? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we should temper it and just say, like, it's not even confirmed 2021 for now. When we do and we're confident in it, we'll tell you, and we'll be as specific as we possibly can be. We know that there's a tendency to make predictions about possible release dates based on all sorts of signs and symbols, from job listings to our accounts getting verified on Twitter. For the avoidance of doubt, there aren't any hidden messages. Nobody outside the company has access to the game, and we're not going to drop the game as a surprise without giving you notice. This is what we are going to do. We're going to make a game. What? They're making a game? And then we're going to tell you how you can get hold of it. And then you can play it, if you like. I don't know, this sounds very controversial. I've never seen a game company do this before. We hope you do like it, though. What does that link to? Oh, the sign-up page. Okay. So if you want to sign up and get notifications when the game is getting close to release, you can do that. There's a link to it on this blog post. And the blog post will be linked in the description as well, as always. And here's another picture that came straight from the tweet from earlier. I thought it would be here. Zone 3. Berea, we got ourselves the snowy areas with some sort of snow huts that are quite nice. I could probably live in one of these. They're actually pretty cozy. I like it. I don't see any secrets here, so we'll continue. We hope that you're keeping safe and that you enjoy the holidays. Our team will be taking a break over Christmas, but you can expect to see some festive extras on our social media over the next few weeks. Thank you as ever to the Hytale community. We see this every time and we mean it. Your excitement, interest, and the art you create inspires us to make the best game we possibly can, and we're honored to go on this journey with you. Okay, so basically no big reveals for the game. In fact, I'd say the main takeaway for this development update is temper your expectations. Don't get too hyped. We don't know when it will release. It might not even be 2021. Even though they said it earlier, they said currently they don't have a release plan set out. So we'll see. And also, just temper your expectations in general. They're reworking a lot of things. A lot of the old blog posts might not be relevant anymore. A lot of things are changing. And we'll just have to see how it turns out. And also, we won't get that many updates again for the future for a little while, because they've been super busy and they're dedicating all their resources to the game. So it'll still be just those screenshots, those postcards, for the foreseeable future. Okay, so this makes me chill out a little bit, because I keep looking forward to every single blog post and that sort of thing. And I really enjoy these blog posts and I still want more of them, but if it takes time to make them, and if it takes longer to make the game, that's fine. The classic Miyamoto quote that I'm not going to say here because everyone's tired of it at this point. It's not getting delayed anyway. They never set a release date, so they're just spending time in developing it. So I want the game to be good. So whatever it takes to do that, just do that. And that's pretty much it for this blog post. I would love to do more Hytale videos, I'm going to say. However, I just don't have A, the time, and B, the creativity to make a lot of the videos that a lot of other Hytale channels make. Like, I know there's Hytale News, there's Quebec Corner, there's all sorts of channels that have grown super rapidly off Hytale content. And that's really cool. I'm really inspired by them. Like, they do some great stuff, and I don't know how they come up with all the ideas that they do, but somehow they do it. I just don't have the creativity to come up with all those ideas for videos. And also, I want to just do Let's Plays. I don't really have the time to make all sorts of compilations of all the monsters in Hytale, or my favorite parts of Borea, or interview with Hytale YouTuber, or whatever like that. I just want to talk about the blog post, talk about how excited I am, and then make Let's Plays once it releases, because that's all I really have time to do, being that I'm in grad school trying to become a doctor. That limits my time a lot, and I can't really edit really creative videos with that. So, if you're interested in that, and if you want to see the Hytale Let's Plays when they come out, I really would appreciate a subscription. I do a lot of other games right now, just lots of Let's Plays on whatever I feel like. Generally, they don't get too many views because they're small games, just whatever's in my library, but I enjoy doing them. I do YouTube for fun anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much all for now, and I hope to see you all on the next adventure.